Google Search Console, AI-powered insights transforming SEO in 2025. Google Search Console became the SEO truth layer in 2025. SEO didn't die in 2025, but the way buyers consume answers changed fast, and most teams are still measuring the old way. With AI overviews showing up on about 30% of US desktop keywords, a top ranking can now mean more visibility but fewer clicks, which is why Google Search Console, GSC, quietly became the most important first-party dataset in your growth stack. For B2B, this isn't a marketing vanity problem. It's a pipeline timing problem. About 71% of B2B buyers start with a generic search query, and roughly 66% use search engines while researching products. So the phrases in GSC are essentially prospects telling you what they need before they'll ever answer a cold call. Organic search is still the engine room, too. B2B sites see about 62% of traffic from organic search, and 57% of B2B marketers say organic delivers the highest ROI among channels. So treating GSC as just an SEO tool leaves revenue leaders blind to the earliest demand signals. AI overviews changed click behavior, not intent. AI overviews didn't eliminate search demand, they compressed it into more zero-click behavior. Multiple studies show organic CTR drops sharply when AI summaries appear. One widely cited dataset puts the decline around 61%, and that means your GSC charts can show rising impressions alongside falling clicks without anything being wrong with your rankings. The behavioral shift is straightforward. When an AI summary appears, only about 8% of users click a traditional result, compared with about 15% when no AI summary appears. For B2B teams that previously managed SEO by sessions and clicks alone, this is why reporting suddenly feels confusing and why sales teams can experience lead droughts even while visibility is growing. The practical nuance is that Search Console does not give you a clean AI overviews filter. AI overview impressions and clicks are folded into standard web reporting. So the winning move isn't trying to isolate AI traffic. It's learning the new patterns, impressions up, CTR down, positions stable, and deciding where to defend click-through versus where to monetize visibility with stronger conversion paths and outbound follow-up. Treat GSC as a revenue system, not an SEO dashboard. In our work at SalesHive, the teams that win in AI-era SEO set ownership and cadence first. Marketing should own the technical setup and hygiene, but GSC insights belong in a standing monthly revenue meeting with sales leadership, because the queries report is a live feed of market language your SDRs should be using in Outbound. This matters because SEO is still one of the most compounding channels in B2B. For B2B SaaS, SEO has been reported to deliver an average 825% ROI over 3 years, which means small improvements in the right query clusters, pricing, alternatives, integrations, category terms, compound into pipeline, not just traffic. The key shift is to start with revenue queries, not vanity volume. Instead of celebrating more clicks, segment queries by intent and prioritize bottom-of-funnel themes: pricing, competitor comparisons, implementation, integrations, and service terms that map to buying behavior, including terms tied to a cold calling agency, cold calling services, a B2B sales agency, an outbound sales agency, or sales outsourcing when those fit your offering. Turn query groups and pages into SDR-ready plays. The fastest way to operationalize GSC is to move from single keywords to topic clusters. As Search Console insights and AI-powered query groups roll out, use them as a topic radar. Identify the few clusters gaining impressions and relevance, then translate each cluster into one message theme your SDRs can run for the next 2 to 4 weeks. Here's how we like to frame the workflow. Each month, Pick the top handful of rising query groups. Then map each group to one best fit page and one next step offer: demo, calculator, template, integration guide, case study. If the query group signals a problem like outsourced SDR team or sales development agency, your page should answer the evaluation questions, and your SDR talk track should mirror the exact phrasing that appears in Search Console, not internal jargon. The second layer is account-based execution. If AI overviews suppress clicks for informational topics, don't panic and chase volume. Instead, double down on branded and high-intent terms where buyers still need to click through, and then coordinate outbound to the right accounts after those pages get engagement. This is where an SDR agency or outsourced sales team model can be especially effective. The same search themes can fuel cold email agency messaging, calling scripts for B2B cold calling services, and list building that targets accounts already showing interest. When clicks get harder to win, the teams that grow are the ones that treat visibility as intent and turn that intent into conversations. Read the right KPIs together: impressions, CTR, and position. AI overviews force a different interpretation of performance. Instead of judging SEO by clicks alone, track impressions, CTR, and average position together for the query clusters that matter to revenue. Then compare changes over time. When impressions rise while CTR falls and position stays stable, it's often a sign the SERP layout changed, not that your content suddenly became worse. In that scenario, your job is to monetize the visibility you're still earning. Strengthen titles and descriptions where you can, but focus heavily on on-page conversion. Clearer CTAs, tighter above-the-fold value, better internal linking to mid-funnel assets, and frictionless forms. You're optimizing for fewer clicks that convert better, not winning back every lost click that the SERP now absorbs. At the same time, protect the areas where buyers still click: brand, product, and evaluation queries. If you see terms like pricing, reviews, alternatives, or integration trending, that's a direct signal to align content and outbound immediately. Those are the same terms SDRs can reference naturally on calls and in emails without sounding spammy, including SalesHive reviews or SalesHive pricing if you're tracking branded demand for our services. Common mistakes that break the SEO-to-pipeline loop. The most common mistake we see is chasing traffic instead of intent. Broad informational rankings can look great in Search Console, but if those visitors never turn into opportunities, your SDRs end up waiting on leads that don't qualify. The fix is simple but strict. Bucket queries into informational, mid-funnel, and bottom-of-funnel. Then prioritize the clusters that historically correlate with SQLs and closed-won. Another costly mistake is ignoring AI overviews in reporting and declaring SEO down when clicks fall. If your team doesn't flag the impressions up, CTR down pattern, you'll underinvest right when awareness is expanding. The right response is to defend brand presence, improve conversion rate on the clicks you still earn, and coordinate outbound around the topics Google is increasingly surfacing. Finally, don't let marketing hoard GSC access or keep it disconnected from CRM outcomes. Sales leaders need read-only visibility, and RevOps needs a way to connect organic landing pages to opportunities. If you can't tie high-intent pages back to pipeline, you risk over-investing in the wrong content while your outbound sales agency efforts, cold call services, and telemarketing motions drift away from what buyers are actively searching. Automate insight discovery with exports and AI analytics. Manual spreadsheet analysis doesn't scale in 2025. Export at least 6 to 12 months of Search Console data and feed it into BI or AI narrative tools so anomalies and emerging themes surface automatically, like a sudden spike in outsourced SDR services queries or a decline in an important B2B cold calling page. The goal is a weekly, repeatable insight loop, not an occasional deep dive. Once you have the loop, Operationalize it. Marketing publishes a short weekly brief with 3 items: what's rising, what's decaying, and what's being affected by AI-driven SERP changes. Then SDR leadership turns one of those insights into a messaging test, whether that's a new opener, a refreshed objection response, or a tighter value proposition for cold calling companies or cold email agency sequences. The highest leverage integration is connecting GSC landing pages to CRM outcomes. Tag your top revenue-driving organic pages, track which URLs precede opportunities, and use those themes to prioritize content refreshes and outbound targeting. When you can say, "This query cluster creates pipeline," your SEO roadmap stops being a marketing project and becomes a sales system. What to do next? A quarterly roadmap that aligns SEO and outbound. Build your quarterly plan around 3 to 5 search themes that GSC shows as both high intent and growing. Then commit to a realistic cadence. When a new cluster surges, resist the urge to publish 10 posts at once. Prioritize 1 or 2 pieces that best match buying intent. And make sure your SDR team has capacity to follow up on inbound interest and run outbound sprints tied to the same theme. This is also where visibility without clicks can still pay off. If AI overviews are suppressing traffic, use the exposure to strengthen brand memory and then convert interest through better offers and proactive outreach. In practice, we often see the best results when GSC insights inform both on-site conversion improvements and a focused outbound campaign into the accounts most likely to care right now. If you don't have bandwidth to translate Search Console insights into daily execution, partnering can be the pragmatic answer. SalesHive functions as a B2B sales agency and sales outsourcing partner that helps turn market signals into meetings, combining list-building services, cold email, LinkedIn outreach services, and B2B cold calling, so your team isn't stuck choosing between do SEO and run outbound.